Welcome back everyone, this is MandoAllDay, back with another video. And in this video, I'll be doing an overview of Batman and the Batwing from Spin Masters. This is a Target exclusive figure and also the vehicle. I'll be showing you the figure and vehicle itself and talking about the articulation, sculpture, and paint, and if it's worth your purchase or not. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button to not support channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. So let's take a look at the box, because it's a pretty big box. This is the front of the box looks like. And I'll show you how the back looks like. This is how the back looks like. Alright, now let's take a look at the vehicle and figure itself. So this is the Spin Master. Unfortunately, it does not come with a card, nor any accessories, so you essentially just get the figure itself and, of course, the Batwing. So before we get into the Batwing, because let's be honest, this is like the main thing people want to see and get, let's talk about the figure itself. So we'll do the articulation of the head. Head articulation, left, right, good. Up, down, there's nothing. And in terms of the head sculpture, I mean, it's fine. It's a good, clean looking sculpture, man. And for Spin Master, I'm not very familiar with Spin Master. I've seen a lot of these figures, like at Target, at Walmart, so I'm not familiar with them. But for the most part, though, it's a good, clean looking head sculpture. It is a 12-inch figure. It's all pretty tall. But in terms of the detail, in terms of the sculpture, it's clean, man. I can't deny it. It looks good. The painted eyes, you got that face sculpture, looks good. Very painted chin, looks very, very clean. Unfortunately, the lips aren't painted, so it kind of looks muted. But apart from that, can't hate on it. Shoulder articulation, good. No bicep articulation, but there is swivel there. Elbow articulation, good. Hand swivel. And unfortunately, no torso articulation. So in terms of the articulation, again, I'm come from McFarlane, so it's a little different, but can't really hate on it. I do notice, though, that when you articulate it, it has like a smooth feel to it. I know with McFarlane, some of them are very stiff, or it kind of has like it's going to crack. This one is smooth, which I actually got to give Spin Masters kudos, because this is a really smooth articulation. Like, you have to kind of have to feel it. It's really, really smooth, so... And I'm assuming because it's kids' toy, and I say kids because this is really, really plastic. This, like, I'm gonna tap it on my microphone. It's very, very hollow, but overall, though, the upper body, it's a good-looking upper body, man. You got the armor here, the armor abdomen. You got that Batman logo on there that's very bright and yellow. Looks good. You got more sculpture design here on the shoulder, on the bicep. Then you got around the neck as well, too. The gauntlets look cool, get very armor-like. Then you have right there the arm right there, detail. The gloves, very clean looking, not much to it in terms of sculpture. But it looks clean, though. And I gotta say, this is a very cool, clean looking sculpture design for Spin Master, for Batman. There's more of the sculpture design in terms of the back. And of course, it does have that cape, the cloth cape, which I really like. And so, overall, though, the upper body, it's a good, clean-looking Batman, Michael Keaton Batman. It's a cool-looking, a 12-inch figure, so keep that in mind. But it does feel very hollow and very plasticky, per se. I don't know if that makes any sense. But overall, though, the upper body looks good, man. I dig it. Utility belt, I like it. Again, it's just one piece, it's just sculpture design. But the one thing I have to give kudos is the paint. The paint has like a little bit of a gloss to it, like a pearl, if that makes any sense. I don't know if my camera can pick it up. I don't think so, but it has a little bit of a pearl look to it on the paint. So, I actually got to give, again, kudos to Spin Masters. A little very detail like that looks really, really good. Leg articulation, good. Knees, good. And that's it. There's no toes or ankles, and there's no holes in the bottom. But in terms of the leg sculpture, similar to the upper body, you got the sculpture line, also present on the thigh. A little bit here on the leg as well, too. You got the boots on there, feet as well, too. So, overall, though, the leg sculpture design, very clean looking. Again, it looks good, man. The knee pads, not much to the knee pads. I wish there was more design to it. And there's more sculpture design here in the back of the thigh. And then, of course, the boot on the calves. So, overall, though, in terms of the actual figure itself, I can't really hate on it, man. I mean, this is my first Spin Master figure. Not really mine anymore, which I'll talk about in a bit. But overall, it's a good-looking Spin Master figure for Batman McQueen, so I can't really hate on it. The paint job is just black. There's really not much to it. Like I said, in terms of the utility belt, it has like the pearl, that black pearl on it. When you have a shining light to it, it kind of gives it that pearl look. But apart from that, you get the Batman logo and good head sculpture on the face as well too, painted eyes. And I gotta say, man, this is a cool figure. Now I know for Spin Master they go for like $10 each by itself. So for $10, I can't really hate on it. You get a lot of toy, a tall size figure, some articulation, and again the joints feel smooth, and which I really like compared to McFarlane's. But I know McFarlane's different joints, but it has a smoothness to it, and which I really like and appreciate it. But regardless of that, for this figure itself, honestly, I gotta say, I give it a thumbs up. Is it my cup of tea? Not really. It's something that I might be collecting? Not really. I've seen the other lines, like I said, they're available like at Walmart, Target. I'm not sure about GameStop, but I see a lot of them, and these are cool, man. I really like this one. This is really cool. I dig this one. Now, of course, the main thing that people want to get this, probably the main reason you want to get this figure, this purchase, I guess you can say, but more importantly, why you want to see this video is because of the Batwing right here. Here it is, half fleet built. So here's the other, I'm showing you how it looks like. Here's the other half. There's nothing on it, and here it is, built on one side. But before I show you that, let's show you the other part of it. So I'll show you one of the wings so you can kind of see the sculpture design. So here's one of them, and you got the sculpture design on here. Again, very clean looking. I'm assuming it's like the vents. I believe this is where like the missiles will come out if this was articulated. You got a sculpture design here as well. And here, you got more sculpture design on here as well too. Oh, here you go. Show you two like this better. Much better. There you go. There we go. So you got the vents here. You got, I'm assuming this is a compartment where you can have missiles. Again, if this was more of a high-end vehicle, but it's not. You got sculpture design on there as well as here too. You got the little sculpture design here, all the way down here. And of course, you got the little arcs right here. It's pretty clean looking. In terms of the paint, it's just black. You can see a lot of the plastic, the design of it underneath it. So overall, this top portion, it's fine, man. It's a cool Batwing in terms of the wing itself. No pun intended. And the paint job, it's just black. There's really not much to it. But you can see a lot of the sculpture from underneath. So there's that. And, oh, this is how it looks like on one side when you actually enter it. All right, now let's take a look underneath. Underneath, there really isn't much to it. You got more of the design here based upon the other side. And everything else, it's very clean, plain looking underneath wing of the Batwing, no pun intended. And again, this is where it goes inside. Pretty straightforward. Here you got more here. The sculpture design right there too. And so that's pretty much it underneath it. There's really not a lot of design. And in terms of the feel, the plastic, the way I can describe it is, have you ever had like a storage like bin, like a plastic storage bin? That's what it feels like with this. It has that feel of the plastic of a storage bin, if that makes any sense. So if you plan on getting it, or if you want to know how it feels like, it kind of has that feel like a plastic storage bin plastic, if that makes any sense. And it has that feel to it, and it has that flex to it, which I like, because if you drop it, it's not going to hurt too much compared to the McFarlane one, because it's $250. But we'll talk about that in terms of the pricing and so forth in a bit. But overall, though, here it is. And in terms of the lengthwise from this top part, oh, here we go. From this top part all the way up to here, it's around 17 inches, so keep that in mind. All right? There's that. And then the other side, here's the right side. How it looks when you have it all together, per se. Clean looking, right? And all you do is literally just pop this off, just like so. Boom, and like that. Easy peasy. I'll show you how it looks underneath. You guys can get an idea how it looks. I'll show you guys from a distance. You guys can kind of see how it looks underneath. Again, very clean looking, and that hole's on there, which actually, you know what? I'll take it apart. You guys can see that again. So this is how it looks like without it. And then all you do to put it on, again, put it to the side. Booyah. Just like so. There you go. That's how it looks like underneath. And I'm not going to talk about the other part of the wing because, well, they're pretty much identical in terms of the wings. All right, let me put this thing down. All right. All right. Let's take a look at the main thing here. Now, before I show you the top part, there's a lot to talk about. Let's take a look at underneath. So underneath, there's some moving part articulation, I guess. First of all, there's three things here. You can actually articulate this. So if you want to have it flat, like flying, there you go. Or if you want to have it displayed, you can pull this down. Unfortunately, it doesn't have... There you go. Unfortunately, the wheels don't spin. They're just kind of sitting there, which is a bit unfortunate. I wish they can actually articulate, or not articulate, actually move. That'd be really cool, because you can kind of like drag it a little bit, but it doesn't. So keep that in mind. But I will say, though, they're pretty thick plastic. And again, that plastic is... It's flexible, but also sturdy at the same time. Hopefully that makes sense. But underneath, there we go. Not much to it. You got the little... I don't want to say vents, but... The turbine, you have this portion on here, which I'll show you in the opposite side. And that's pretty much it, man. They got more sculpture on here. I'm assuming this is like the intake port of it. And it's pretty clean looking underneath the actual plane itself. And there's that. Now, in terms of the length from here to the very, very back, it's like around 22 inches, give or take. So, for those of you who want to know measurements, there you go. And the width of it, when you have it fully assembled, is 27 inches. I believe it's 27 inches. Yeah, 27 inches. So, when you put in both parts, the width of it is 27 inches. So, keep that in mind. All right, now let's talk about the main part on here, which you want to see. Well, it does articulate in terms of opening up. So, you can actually open it up like so. I like how it's actually kind of a bit of darker. It's like a tint to it, which is pretty cool. Inside the cockpit, that's pretty much it. There really isn't too much onto it. There's no design or anything. It's just plain, which is a good thing, because I'll talk about it in a bit, but I want to talk about everything else. So, in terms of the actual other parts to it, you got more sculpture design there as well too. Similar to the wing, you got more sculpture design right there. Then you got the tips on here. Not much to it. More sculpture design there. You got more air vents on there. Of course, you're going to have the little... I don't know what you call it here, the wing, or not really the wing, but this portion right here. You guys know what I'm talking about. And you got more sculpture design there. The back has a little fin on there in the back, and that's pretty much it. There's nothing on the back, so if you're thinking maybe there's something in the back, there isn't. And that's pretty much it. So again, a very clean, basic looking Batwing, but I mean, for the price you pay for, which I'll talk about in a bit, you can't really go wrong with it. And of course, the actual plastic piece here is clear, you can see, but also has a little bit of sculpture design. You can see that right there, a lot of reflection, and that's pretty much it. And then you can open it up. And this is where people are going to complain, but also kind of smart, and for those who like to customize. Where, yes, it's very plain. I've seen people online talk about, wow, there's nothing inside, very plain looking. Yes, there's plain, but you can actually customize it. Now, do I plan on customizing it? Probably not, because you need a lot of tools, but I've seen people use Dremels and just make a hole here, just making it bigger on here, more depth, so you can actually fit more figures on here. And I've actually seen online where people actually put on here seats in here, which is pretty cool. When you have this closed and you have like a red seat on there, it just really looks really, really good. And again, it's a very plain, but there's a lot of opportunity to customize it. You can probably, get some stickers, put a stickers on here, make it look like it's like some gauges or some forth. Maybe get some more stickers, make it painted red right here, which will look really, really cool. So you can kind of get an idea where you can customize it. But overall, though, this is a really cool Batwing. Really, really cool Batwing. And let me show you how it looks. Actually, I don't want it. Never mind. I was going to put it on. But there you go. That is the Batwing. Now, of course, the main question is this worth it? Personally, for $40, heck yeah, this is a fantastic deal for $40. Now, before I really dive into it, just want to be clear, you got to take consideration, one, the economy right now, but also two, what you're paying. You're getting a lot of toy, a lot of plastic for $40. I'm bringing this up because I've seen people online, and it's a lot. I don't know why people talk about it, but I've seen people online talking about, oh, it feels plastic, it feels cheap. You guys, you have to take consideration. This is $40. For $40, you get a lot of plastic. Yes, the quality isn't probably the best. Yes, the material isn't the best. Yes, there's very limited articulation, hence why the wheels, and hence why the cockpit. There's not much in it. But you guys can take into consideration $40. So for $40, you're getting a lot of value for your money. And so to me, for $40, you get a Batwing and also a figure, which to each their own. It's cool looking. Don't get me wrong, I like it, but I'm not a big fan of it. But this is the main thing that we all want. And for $40, I think it's a really good deal, and you're getting a best bang for your buck. Definitely recommend getting it. Limited articulation, like I said, yes. Quality in terms of the actual plastic material, not the greatest. But for $40, you're getting a Batwing that's 27 inches wide. And as mentioned, I believe 22 inches, like around 22 inches in terms of length from the back of this to the front. Come on. And so to me, I think this is a fantastic deal for it. Now I cannot compare it to the McFarlane one because I don't have it. But I think for $40, this is a fantastic deal for us collectors. You can actually put it standing next to maybe a figure, and it blends in well. I think the size of it looks perfectly well. It blends in well, which will show you some figures inside. But I think this is a fantastic deal. And I want to talk about the pricing because, again, I've seen people post online. It feels cheap. It feels plastic. Yes, but you have to take consideration. Look at the economy, and look at what you're getting. You're getting a lot of plastic for your money. And I think the $40 is a fantastic deal. Now, if you really want to surprise someone, give it to a kid. Give it to your nephew or your son or your daughter, whatever. I guarantee you, when they see that box, a huge box that it comes in, they're going to be blown away. But when they see the actual Batwing and they fully assemble it, they're going to get excited. Because I remember getting it, opening it up, and I assembled it, and within maybe 3 seconds, my nephew just grabbed it and he started playing with it. And I want to bring this up is because at the end of the day, Spin Masters makes a lot of toys for kids, actual kids, to play around with, and that's why they use a lot of plastic that feels hollow, similar to this. It kind of has that plastic where it's a bit durable, but also bendable, so if it falls, it might not crack. And at the end of the day, this is made for that, for kids. So set your expectations accordingly, but I think for $40, it's a fantastic deal. And Spin Masters, kudos to you. You made an actual Batwing, not 100% Michael Keaton one, but you made a Batwing that looks similar to it for a affordable price of $40. Give it a thumbs up. This is definitely a must buy. Highly recommend getting it, but I want to say one thing. Set your expectations accordingly. If you get this thinking this is going to be way better than McFarlane, you're going to be disappointed. Because what I've seen in McFarlane is so much more detail, better paint. I believe there's more articulation. This one just has the top part, the wheels, and that's pretty much it. So set your expectations accordingly, and if you do, I think you're really going to enjoy it. And for $40, you get a lot for your money. And so to me, as mentioned, the Flash, Batwing, and figure itself by Spin Masters, $40, and also choose the figure and Batwing itself, easily get a thumbs up for me. Okay, so it's difficult to actually compare it. I know usually I do comparisons in terms of the figures and compare it to other figures, so it's very difficult. So I figured, you know what, I'll bring in some other vehicles and other figures you can kind of get an idea. And this is just the main core of the Batwing, so you can kind of get an idea. But there it is. Here is the motorcycle from the Batman movie. Here's the back of it sitting back mid. You can kind of get an idea in terms of the size and the front. So it's almost 3 of these motorcycles combined. And if you want to see how tall this thing is, can't really show it. Again, this thing is huge, but just look at that. Just look at the size difference. I mean, it's ridiculous. Let's see if I can do this. Hold on. Okay, boom. There you go. You guys can get an idea how big this thing is. Here is another vehicle. This is from the Batman. What is it? Batman White Knight, I believe. That's what, if I remember correctly. Regardless, so here is another vehicle on here by McFarlane. Here's the back of the wheel to the back of the Batwing from Spin Masters. And here is the actual front portion of it. So you can kind of get an idea in terms of the lengthwise. And this is just sucked in. Now, if you extend it, which I can't, it's been a while since I've actually extended this piece. There you go. The back of the wheels and the back of the actual piece right there. And then There you go. And he's just like in the middle, so you can kind of get an idea of how lengthy this thing is. And I'll put this away. And hopefully Robin, he's going to fall probably. But get an idea how tall this thing is compared to this. There we go. That's that. Right? Almost to there. And fully extended is how it looks like. So again, let's just get an idea how lengthy this thing is. And the reason I don't want to put the other piece is going to be really, really long and can't really see it. So there you go. Here we have Robin from the, I believe, Rebirth era. Not Rob. Yeah, Robin. Damian. Wow. I was going to say Tim Drake, but anyways. Damian, Robin from the Rebirth era figure. So you kind of see how it looks like having it just sitting on the actual one of the wings. Here is Robin or Damian in the back of it. In the front, again, just for reference. And here's the tip of it. Nothing sexual for those of you. And just to show you how it looks like, here is Damian just standing next to the front of the actual Batwing itself. And for more comparisons, I'm going to show you how he stands. Well, you guys can kind of get an idea, but not the best. But I'm hoping you guys can get an idea how massive this thing is. Because again, this is huge. Huge. And this is just one portion. So imagine having both of them. It's going to look ridiculous. But I'm going to love every second of it. There you go. Here we have the Jokerized Dark Detective Batman. Just sitting right next to her on the wing. Here is the Joker. Standing in the back. The middle. Right. The front for reference. And of course just sitting, or not sitting, standing next to the Batwing in terms of just setting it by its side. You can kind of get an idea of how massive this thing is. And I'll show you a comparison of how this figure looks standing next to the Jokerized Batman. Here we have the, oh my god, I forgot his name, Volcom, I believe, or Volcom. Well, this Mega Fig that came out, I believe, like almost a month ago, give or take. But another ridiculous, monstrous Mega Fig. Just showing how it looks standing on one of the wings. The back. Just the middle of it. And, of course, the front for reference point. And I'm going to show you how it looks just standing right next to it. So you can kind of get an idea how massive this thing is. And of course, I gotta show you how it looks. It's difficult to do this one hand because I'm trying to like pose it, but also at the same time show you guys. But show you how it looks in terms of how massive this thing is. I'm telling you, this thing is massive. Here we have inside Nightwing and Robin from the Rebirth era. And just showing you how it looks inside. I've seen people talk about you can't fit figures in here. You can, you just have to play around with it. But I will say that you are limited in terms of which figures. It really depends on the figure itself. So, just showing you how it looks inside. Get an idea. And again, you could probably fit another one on here. Maybe not, might be able to fit maybe like a regular Robin. Or like, what's his name? Dick Grayson, the original one. Or Carrie Kelly. But nonetheless, they're just showing you how it looks like inside. So you can do it by itself. It's just a little... It's a little tricky. You have to figure out the right figure. And it's just showing you how I did it. Really simple, really. Move the legs forward. That's all I did. Move the legs forward. You probably do more. Right? And for the Nightwing, pretty much the same thing. Pretty much just all it is just forward. I could probably do a little bit more. We open the legs a little bit just to kind of stand on there. But again, just showing you how it looks like so. Now the tricky part is it's going to be the actual cape itself. The cape is going to be the big thing. So for this one, this cape is fine. I think it's because of its size. But when you put in, let's say, actually not this one, this one right here, Rebirth Batman, it gets a little tricky. So I'm going to do the same thing, right? Put the legs forward. Put the legs forward. All right? I don't want to break it too much. But when you put this one in, the cape, it really makes it difficult. You can probably move this back a little bit. So it is feasible. It's just have to play around with the cape. But unfortunately, you have to kind of use figures that really don't have so much of a stiff cape. But I mean, if you don't care, you just want to put him like this, maybe have him lean forward a little bit. There you go. You could probably do that, or you can maybe do another Batman on here. Same thing. I'll try to do the whole leaning forward. You're gonna get an idea, like so, and boom. So this one, the cape is actually a lot less stiffer, so you can probably use this particular Batman probably a lot better. There you go. And maybe put in, I don't know, let's say Grayson in the back of Batman. And again, just showing you how it looks like these two. So it really, really depends on the figure itself. Especially if you use Batman, it really depends on the cape. Hence why the McFarlane one is mainly used for the Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck cape ones. So the question, can you fit a McFarlane figure in here? Yes, you can. Can you fit in here a McFarlane figure sitting upright? You can. But you just have to find the right figure. And if it is a figure that has a cape, you have to find out the one that has flexible. Because this one, it's a bit stiff, so it's not going to work very well. But this one, though, it's a lot more looser, you can see, so you can probably play around with this one. Obviously, if you have a figure that doesn't have a cape, it makes it much easier, like Nightwing. And of course, if you have a figure like the Robin one here, it's a lot shorter, but it is pretty flexible, so you can work with it. So again, I just want to clarify, can you fit McFarlane figures in here? Yes, you can. You just have to find the right ones, the ones who have a not so thick, stiff cape, and you should be fine. But again, just showing you how you can fit on there. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with me in this figure and vehicle? Do you plan to purchase this vehicle and figure? Leave it in the comment section below. As always, make sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on the support channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. That includes an overview of the Spin Masters Target exclusive Batman vehicle and also Batman figure itself for the Flash movie, and on to the next one.